Welcome to the Week in Review, the show that brings you up to date on the week that was. Here are the top stories. Current account deficits rises in the March quarter. Vedanta's Indian units agree to merge. And Manmohan Singh takes over the finance ministry. First up, India's economy may be slowing down, but imports still seem to be pouring in. New data out on Friday showed a sharp turn towards the negative in India's trade balance. The country's balance of payments deficit for the quarter ending March was $5.7 billion. That's compared to a surplus of $2 billion in the same period in 2011. Meanwhile, the current account deficit for the March quarter reached $21.7 billion, which amounts to 4.5% of GDP. In other news, the Reserve Bank sounded a warning on Thursday with its latest financial stability report. The report said risks had increased because of the slowdown at home and the debt crisis abroad. It also said the critical concern was a fall in asset quality. But the report added that RBI's stress tests showed a banking crisis was unlikely. RBI Governor D. Subbarao said that despite the problems, India's financial sector remained stable. He also stressed that banks were well capitalized and that the leverage remained at healthy levels. Moving to corporate developments, the Indian units of billionaire Anil Agarwal's Vedanta Resources are finally set to merge. On Monday, shareholders of Sterlite Industries and Sesa Goa agreed to create a new company called Sesa Sterlite. Among shareholder votes, about 79% of Sesa Goa and 92% of Sterlites were in favour of the merger. But the advisory firm IIAS said some portion of votes had been rejected as invalid. The merger also includes other subsidiaries like Cairn India and Vedanta Aluminum. Vedanta had been counting on the new merger to simplify its business structure in India and reduce debts from large acquisitions like Cairn India. But some minority shareholders in Sesa Goa had criticised the plan as being against their interests. And Pranab Mukherjee is no longer India's finance minister. On Tuesday, the veteran politician stepped down from the post so he could become the UPA's candidate in July's presidential elections. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has taken over the finance ministry portfolio. This change of hands at the finance ministry seems to have improved investor sentiment. On Thursday, the government tried to allay fears about one of Pranab Mukherjee's most controversial moves, the general anti-avoidance rules for tax. For one, the government said the GAAR would only apply on income earned after the 1st of April 2013. It also set a 60-day limit for tax officials to go to the approving panel when there's a dispute. And that wasn't all. On Friday, the PMO issued a statement that sought to provide further reassurance. It said the draft GAAR document would be finalised by the Prime Minister, and that this would only happen after getting feedback on the draft guidelines. And here are some stories in brief. Coca Cola's global chairman and CEO Mutta Kent announced the company would invest $5 billion in India by 2020. He said this would mean an extra $3 billion over what Coca Cola had committed earlier. At present, Coca Cola India stands the 7th position in the company's global portfolio. Hyundai is looking to introduce a range of new engine technologies to gain greater market share. It plans to bring its full range of diesel engines into the country. These will include a 1.1-litre engine that can fit into its popular i10 vehicle. At present, Hyundai has to import all its diesel technology into India. And finally, search provider Just Dial may have delayed its IPO, but it has just raised money from private investors. Sequoia Capital has put in 305 crores, and SAP Ventures another 22 crores. Back in August, Just Dial had filed its draft red herring prospectus. The company postponed those plans, but will file a fresh prospectus in July and go public next year. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.